absolutely love the days in between Christmas and New Year's. And New Year's as a whole just feels so cleansing and renewing. I'm gonna try and ignore the fact that I have a little chompy monster beside me, but I just love the idea of clearing out old energy reflecting, making space for the new. We are definitely doing this New Year's prep and reset a lot differently than I have in the past. I have filmed a New Year's reset, and I love doing a New Year's reset, period. But I've filmed this video for the past, I want to say this is the 5th one now. I think the first one I ever did was in 2020, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe this is the 5th annual video. And we're doing it very differently this year. I fully had planned this video to do it like regular and chat through obviously my goals and stuff. And as I've been like slowly starting to reflect on the past year, I'm realizing that I need to do it a little bit differently, take it slower, take you guys through every step by step, and just be really intentional and honestly real about it. So I just got out of the shower, I washed my hair, threw on some eye patches. This is like a typical self-care evening for me, super basic. Made myself a little peppermint tea. I love peppermint or ginger teas in the evening. It's so calming and soothing, both for the belly but also for the nervous system, which I love. And I'm gonna start doing my 2024 reflections. This year as a whole for me was not a great year, to be completely honest. It's had its ups for sure, but it's had a lot of downs and a lot of struggles, and I think that 2024 requires a lot of reflecting and taking lessons back from what I've gone through before I can even start to think about 2025 and what my goals are going to look like and what that year and planning is going to look like. So I'm going to take a good few hours this evening. I feel like I'm definitely not going to vlog all of this because it's currently 9 o'clock and I have a feeling I'm going to be that girl at 1 a.m. doing my New Year's rebrand, but more so my 2024 reflections. But to start off this New Year's reset, I wanted to go through what I'm doing for my reflections. It's also a little bit different this year. I normally have, I feel like 5 to 10 prompts that I journal and go through, but I am both doing that, and then I'm also using the Lavender Artist of Life 2025 planner, and it has some 2024 reflections at the beginning. So I am going to be going through some of those as well as some of my usual yearly reflections. The absolute first thing that I'm doing is going to brain dump kind of all of my thoughts on this year, because I have a lot of thoughts about this year and I feel like I just need a place to start, and it's going to be literally spitballing everything that I think that happened and just like a big brain splatter onto the page. That's number one. In the Artist of Life workbook, I'll go through some of the 2024 prompts, but it's highlights and accomplishments to be proud of, what worked in 2024, what didn't work in 2024, what did I learn, how did my life evolve, what made a difference in my life in 2024 and why, and then all of the moments of pure joy from 2024. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do absolutely all of those ones, but ones that I am going to do outside of that, I wrote down on my phone the one for sure wanted to do. What were some of my biggest struggles / difficulties? What could I have done differently? And then the advice that I needed to hear in 2024. Those are just a few of the prompts that I am going to go through. Like I said, this is going to take a while. I don't even know if I'm going to finish all of my reflections tonight. But tomorrow we get into the more fun nitty-gritty, and tonight is really about just turning and reflecting inward and getting mentally prepped to even start planning my goals for 2025. If you haven't done a ton of yearly reflections in the past, I think this is your sign and your chance to really start turning inward, reflecting inward, because growth really truly starts from within, and we can't grow if we don't know what has happened in the past. I think what we've done in the past, what we've both achieved, not achieved, what we think we've failed, and our past selves are how we continue to live in the present but also move forward from in the future. Let's get into the reflections. am moving into my bedroom. I've definitely had these eye patches on way longer than they need to be on and like realistically should be on. I don't know if this happens to anyone else. I put them on and then they're on for like hours if I just get doing things. But moving into my bedroom to continue the reflection journaling. This whole setup right now is giving I'm just a girl doing my yearly life rebrand at 1 a.m. It is not 1 a.m. It is 11:30, but it's close enough. It's 1 a.m. for me basically. But I have my 2 journals, my tea that is almost done, and then my one little candle going. Cutie. That is it for tonight. My brain is turning to mush, so I'm calling it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning. You guys are coming to Health Cafe with me this morning. It is so early. Last 6 a.m. morning of the year. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired. You guys, I just woke up to snow. Actual snow. There hasn't been snow yet this year. Like actual snow that's stuck around. I'm so excited. Ah! Baby, good morning. Hi, good morning, sleepy baby. Oh, big yawn, big yawn. Good morning, belly rubs. Oh, yeah. Oh, another big stretch, yeah. So, Ludo has never seen snow before. What is it? Is it snow? We are dressed, we're ready for the day. I did get a start on my physical declutter and cleanup. I remade my bed and started a load of laundry, but first of all, it's time for goal setting. For my long session of reflections last night, this morning, it's snowy and beautiful out, so I'm gonna head to a coffee shop, grab a latte, set the mood. I feel like I always like sit at home and contemplate my goals, and I think for 2025, one of my goals and just intentions is to get out of the house more. It's definitely been harder since having Pluto. I feel like I'm very much stuck in a routine, and for the last few years, I always sit at home and plan my goals. We're gonna set the mood, we're setting the vibes. I'm going to a local coffee shop. I'm hoping that they're playing like jazz and soft music and not Christmas music still, but we'll see. I'm gonna grab a latte, maybe a snack, grab my laptop, my journal, and we are gonna set up, but your girl's dressed, ready to go, and we're gonna head out to goal set. So So we just got set up at the cafe. I know what you guys are thinking, Vanessa, why the hell do you need a second coffee? I don't. This one's decaf. Be proud of me. I have just a regular milk latte, and then I also grabbed a almond croissant, because why not get the little snackies? But we are going to set up. We are doing my goal setting, goal planning. I think one of my goals this year is just going to be to get out of my comfort zone a bit more, and that honestly means leaving my routine. I think I'm so comfortable and so stable, set, and steady in my regular set routine. And so for me, that is this year setting my goals outside of the house, coming to a bustling coffee shop and filming in public again. I think that filming in public is something that I, at one point, was really comfortable with, but definitely have become less and less comfortable with as my anxiety has grown and shifted and changed over the years. Filming in public is just not something that I am super comfortable with anymore, and I feel like it's a big reason why I don't go out and vlog as much. And so that's something that I definitely really want to get back to. I'm going to take a little bit, drink this lovely latte I'm so excited for, and get some goal setting done. I'm going to set 20 goals this year, then we'll head home and I will chat through them, because obviously it's a little hard to chat out in public without a mic, without like a good mic on the camera, but we'll go home and I will chat through my goals like usual. All right, we are back home. We are going through my 2025 goals. Pluto might be chomping on his bone in the background again. He just loves sitting at least somewhat near me and chomping on his bone, and he is a loud little muncher. So he may be in the background and we're just gonna try and ignore him. But I set 20 goals for 2025. I used to basically do this thing where the number of the year was how many goals I set. So like 2021, I did 21, 2022, I did 22, and so forth. Until last year, I decided that that was getting to be just too many goals, and I kind of capped it at 20 for 2024, and I've capped it at 20 for 2025 as well, because I think 20 is a good solid round number when it comes to setting goals. And when I personally set goals, there's some parameters, some things that I like to follow. So I like to set both tangible and intangible goals. If you've seen this video from me before, you know I always talk about these two types of goals. I think that if you do a little bit of both, it makes your goal setting a little bit more well-rounded. Hi, Pluto. Intangible goals are more self-guided, self-directed personality trait goals almost. They're things that only you can decide whether you've actually completed them or not. There's not necessarily a numerical value or anything really specific tied to it, versus tangible goals do have a super specific number, like yes or no you completed them or not. They're things like you ran 10K, maybe you lifted 50 pounds, you read 30 books, whatever it might be. Tangible goals have a super specific something attached to them, a yes or no, did you complete it? Whereas intangible are more of a self-guided, self-directed, you decide whether you think you've grown and have achieved that or not. Now, besides those two types of goals, I do like to kind of separate my goals into a few different life categories. So I'm kind of hitting every single aspect and part of life. When I'm sitting down and thinking about my goals, some of the categories that I like to break things up into are, first of all, relationships. This can be love life relationships, friendships, family, but relationships. The second one is financial goals. So whether that can be career driven or just like personal saving goals. I also do like to think about career or business or school, whatever it is that you're doing and are in. That's another topic. The next one is wellness. So whether that's like your eating habits, working out, reading, more so like wellness and development. And then I kind of have an other category where it's just like random things that don't necessarily fall into anything, but they are more, I guess, self-actualization goals or just non-specific life category goals. So without further ado, let's get into some of my personal goals for this year. I'm not going to read you guys everything as usual because some of them are just personal, and just because some of them are pretty personal, but I will read you guys as many as I can here. Let's go through them. The first few are always social media specific goals. When it comes to social media, because it is one of my main jobs, growing my platforms, and that comes in the form of a numerical number, it comes in the form of engagement, growing my community. And when it comes down to it, yes, the number on a screen is great and it does give me a good target and measure to accomplish and reach. My main goal when it comes to everything is always just growth and growing my community. And so this year social media has been a little bit of a weird up and down year. We'll get into it a little bit more, but my first one is to hit 1 million on YouTube, and I don't know if that's going to happen because for the last 2 years my goal has been 750k and I haven't hit that. This year specifically, I feel like YouTube was a bit just off for me creatively, and I definitely want to change up some things, try some new things in 2025, and so I want 2025 to be a growth year for me on YouTube. And so I hope you stick around and stay tuned because I don't know, I'm excited for 2025 on YouTube. I feel like 2024 was such a blah year for me, and I want to try some new things. The next one is 150k on Instagram. Another weird one for me, and I think just because of the life position that I'm in right now, I'm getting married in 2025. I was sharing more about the planning process on Instagram in 2024, that my community has shifted and changed. I like hit 100k at the beginning of the year, went back down to 90k, and now I'm back up to 95k, and it's just like fluctuated and changed a lot over the years. I think because like I personally in my life am changing, and what I've shared has changed a little bit, so my community is shifting alongside with that, which is a good thing. I don't mind that at all, but I definitely want to focus on just finding more of my community in 2025 on Instagram. And then the last one is 200k on TikTok. TikTok is one of those just like stagnant fun sharing platforms for me, but it's always nice to see growth on there too. Next up, reading goal. If you guys don't know this, I did start a booktube this year, and I was super inconsistent at it, but I did start it because I did read a lot more in 2024, and that is one thing I can say I'm super happy about for 2024 is that I did accomplish more reading and more books, getting off my TBR. So my goal for 2025 is to read 30 books, and last year it was read 20. I need to double check my Goodreads, but I think I hit like 17 or 18 books, which is more than I have ever read in any year. Pat on the back to me. I'm super proud of that, but I want to read 30 books in 2025. That is the goal. I have a few health cafe and business related goals that I'm not going to read out the specifics of, but one of them is moving health cafe into our forever home. We're kind of in, not like a part-time studio right now, but it's not the place where I want the studio to be in for forever, and I would love to be able to move the studio into what I would like to call our forever home. And then a few other health cafe related goals as well. One of my next ones is get back into running and actually hit 15k. I did get really close in 2024. I ran 12k, which super proud of myself because I had never ran more than I want to say like 6k in my life before, and I worked my way up to 12. I would love to set it as half marathon, but I don't know if that's super realistic for me just because I haven't been running for the past like almost 4 months, like really since July, so maybe 6 months. Getting back into running consistently and hitting 15k is something I want to do in 2025. My next one is traveling to 2 new places, and this year I've changed it from countries to places, because while I did travel to technically 2 new countries last year, I also traveled to a few new cities in both Canada and the States, and I technically couldn't like count those as new countries, so I've changed it this year to just 2 new places, period. Whether it's a new city, a new country, just a new place. Just travel more basically is always my goal every year. I love traveling, and so having that be a part of my yearly goals is something that I don't think will ever change. My next one is learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, also known as personal growth. I was so uncomfortable in 2024 and I hated it. I often was depressed and I was super anxious and just was in a state of like weird change that I did not like. I was super uncomfortable with it and I don't think I could get past that. And so this year, something I'm working on is just being okay with it being in change and being uncomfortable and not knowing what comes next. I want to do more meal prepping. Oh my gosh, you guys know this is that I want to get back on my meal prepping game. I think it'll also just clear up time for me in the week. My days and weeks are so stretched when it comes to time. I've fallen off my nutrition and I've fallen off of just like solid eating habits, and so that's something that I want to get back into in 2025, and I think meal prepping is going to be a way that I can do that. I want to be more present and intentional. I think that one kind of speaks for itself, as well as further my education in some way. So whether that's getting another like fitness certification, it's taking an online course, like just furthering my education and learning more. I want to be able to take Sundays completely off, or just like offline. I work for myself, so I basically work 24/7, and I want to be able to say Sundays are my day. The next one is kind of a generic goal, but it's deepen my relationships and friendships. I also want to get back into art this year. I went home, my mom has been actually pretty sick the last little bit, and I haven't chatted about that. I don't really want to get into it, but when we first found out about it, Alan and I went home to visit, and I just sat with her and then like drew for like 3 hours, and it felt so good, but also as a way that I can just like sit and be present with myself and with people around me. And it's something that I actually really miss doing, is drawing and painting, and I want to get in touch with that creative side of me again. So that's something I want to get back into in 2025. The next few are some just personal financial goals. The next one is I want to find happiness and love within myself again. I feel like I lost my spark a lot in 2024. Again, something I don't really want to get into a ton right now, and maybe I will in a podcast episode or something, but definitely lost my spark a little bit in 2024. So I want to find that again in 2025. The next one is a monthly declutter and consistent cleaning. That one, again, I feel like is super self-explanatory. Once getting Pluto, I feel like I got off my cleaning game, and I just like am super inconsistent at it, because anytime I have downtime, I want to relax and chill and do nothing. So your girl needs to get back into a consistent cleaning schedule again. And the last one is just be kinder to myself. Another, I think, super self-explanatory one, but those are my 20 goals for 2025. I think you guys know what comes next, but it is visualizing those goals with a vision board. There are some also like generic goals, or just like generic things that I want to do more in 2025 that I'm going to visualize and put into my vision board. But let's get into it. This is my absolute favorite part of every new year, is making a new vision board, because I just love it so much. And then like also going over my old ones from previous years and seeing what I've accomplished is also so much fun. So let's get into it. All right, I took Pluto for a quick walk. Now he's eating his lunch. We are back. We are hopping on Pinterest, because that's always where the vision board starts. Been building my 2025 Pinterest board for the last few weeks. I have one from every year, literally since starting in 2019. So I guess that's probably the first year I did a vision mood board. I think it actually might have been 2020, but we'll see. Here's just a quick look at some of the pictures that I have in here so far. I might not use all of these for the vision board. I may use most of them, we'll see, but I'm going to pick out probably about 10 to 20 that represent some key goals, as well as some quotes that I want to define the year as. Here is just a peek at some of my previous year's vision boards, and then this is last year's. Here's the finished 2025 vision board. Let's go over it just a little bit. Some things that I think are pretty obvious, like the 1 million plaque for YouTube, and then representing just like growing followers on my accounts, some wedding inspos, a few little things in there. Then obviously there's like eating healthier. There's a few places that Alan and I want to travel to this year. This is also like honeymoon inspo, meal prepping, getting more organized, getting back into my devotions, reading Bible, some wellness habits, possibly moving. But this is what it's looking like right now. I always say that like it might change a little bit throughout the first few months as I really narrow down and set out my goals, but currently this is how it's looking. Now it's time to set it as my desktop screensaver. having a somewhat slow but also productive morning this morning. Gotten a little bit of housework done, made myself a delicious green smoothie to get back into my nutrition and eating habits. We have a few more things to complete today to kind of wrap up, tidy up some loose ends for my overarching New Year's reset. But the next thing we're going to be talking about is getting organized and staying productive, or just like getting on top of your productivity for 2025, because we all know the saying, new year, new you, and so that means getting more organized, getting more productive. And for me, that means basically adding to my second brain and organizing my Notion. So I have a bunch of habit trackers and things that we're going to go over a little bit deeper in my next New Year's video. But a big thank you to Notion for partnering with me on today's video. I have been using Notion to organize my business for the last year, and I'm finally dipping my toes back in this year to start using Notion to organize my personal life as well. I used to use it back in, I think it was 2020, 2021, maybe 2022. Took a few years off after I finished school, and I'm realizing now that I need a second brain for my personal life as well. I love that Notion has so much customizability. If you are a little bit unfamiliar with Notion, they are a all-in-one platform to help you achieve more and accomplish more of your goals. I personally use it as my business second brain, but I'm excited to start using it as my personal second brain as well to help me achieve more personally in 2025 and keep everything in one place as well. I want to start getting back on my habits and habit trackers, but this is a brief overview of kind of what some of my habit trackers are looking like on Notion. I love the aesthetic and customizability of Notion, and I think we all love something that we can just make a little bit more personal as well. But if you are newer to Notion and just don't quite understand or know, or even just like don't want to teach yourself how to make Notion totally customizable and unique, they do have a marketplace of thousands of templates that you can use to really make your own and get you started with your digital organization, personal life, wellness organization for 2025. I'm obsessed with it, and I can't wait to start using it in the new year and just get back on top of my habits and on top of my goals as well. I think this is going to help keep me on track because I've also set up reminders for both monthly and quarterly check-ins on my monthly goals, and then obviously my overarching goals. I've set up the quarterly reminders on Notion so that I can check in with myself every 3 months of the year to just kind of see how my goals have been going. With all that being said, you guys can go ahead and click the link down the description box below or the QR code up here on the screen to get started with Notion today. Again, a big thank you to them for partnering with me on today's video. The next step in my reset, I'm actually kind of scared to show you guys this because it has just been a growing problem in 2024 that needs to be sorted before the year ends, and that is my office slash storage space situation. It has become so awful. I need to go through it, and that is the last thing that we're doing for my reset today, and I think it is quite literally going to take me the entire day. But let me show you guys what is up. We're gonna go into my office and start organizing it. It's actually ridiculous. If you know that I have an office and you wonder why I rarely film in it, this has been why, because for the last few months it's just like so much laundry going on, so much clothes that need to be sorted through, whether it's donated, keep, or like literally put them in drawers and reorganize that, a PR stack that's just been growing, and suitcases that haven't gone down to my storage locker, and just like so much stuff that needs to be gone through. It's awful, and I keep putting it off, and then it keeps growing, and so this is where we currently are at. So this is what's going to be dealt with today. I don't care if it's like 100% better, but at least 50% better, so that I don't walk in here and feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack because I'm so overwhelmed, because that actually has happened. This is like reality, and this is what needs to get sorted today. It's so awful. Let's set some tunes. Tunes are much needed. We need music. I'm going to somehow figure this out today. I don't even know where to start, but we're gonna figure it out. All right, hair needs to go up for this, but then I think I'm gonna start with the elephant in the room, which is my cluttered desk. I feel like once that is kind of clear, I'll have a space to sort and organize other things onto, and it'll like stay clear after that, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of my thought process right now. Start with that, maybe put a load of laundry on to start clearing some of that stuff in the corner, and then start with the big things like going through boxes of clothes. status update. Here's what we got going on right now. I cleaned off my desk and wiped it down, cleaned it. Right now I have stacks of things that need to go away. So these are like fitness clothes that need to go in my fitness drawer. These are tops and like miscellaneous that need to be put in drawers. These are a bunch of miscellaneous crew necks that I never had a place for. TBD on what's happening with those. And then most of these are matching sweatpants because most of these are matching sets. There's a few miscellaneous and a few miscellaneous, but mostly matching sets. Down here is kind of what the I don't know what's happening with. I need to go through, try on some of these to see if they still fit. And then these are a bunch of hoodies that are TBD. There's a few pieces like pants and skirts that just need to go in drawers or be hung up, and then a few more miscellaneous pieces. And then so far, this is my bag of things that I'm donating for sure. So there's a few hoodies and tops and things in there. This is looking a little bit better. I put on a load of laundry and I completely emptied this box. So all of these were in here. This hopefully will go. I don't want to have to put any clothes back in here. So this is the update. Okay, it's not fully better, but it is a significant amount better. Pluto's barking at me to take him for a walk, and by the time we get back, just because it's December, it's going to be pitch black in here. So I am going to say that this office is good enough for today. I'll probably finish it up tomorrow off vlog, just like take my time and finish up the few little things. I ended up taking stuff down to my storage locker, as well as just like reorganizing a few final little things that needed to be done. And with that, I am ending off my New Year's little reset and prep. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're interested to see kind of how I am rebuilding my routines, implementing new habits, stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing kind of like a start off the new year with me video and talking about how I'm going to be building up my routines to be the routine that I want and implementing new habits slowly, and if just like self-betterment and self-growth and business growth and travel, lifestyle, wellness, if that is all your thing, stay tuned for 2025 with me because I have so much coming. I'm so excited for the new year, and I wish you guys all a happy new year. I hope that 2025 is going to be the most amazing, beautiful year for you. I'm so excited for the new year and what is in store. Thank you for sticking with me in 2024, even though it was not a great year for me mentally. I appreciate you all so much, and I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video, and I will see you in 2025. Bye.